Hey, what's up? This is Gary Swaby, and you're now watching the quarterly report for quarter one 2016. So this show is going to cover January, February, and March 2016. And I'm here with a few of the guys from the site. Tony Polanco. What's up, Tony?
What's going on? It's the quarterly report.
Yeah, I love that intro, man. And we're here with Charles Singletary. What's up, Charles?
Greetings, everyone.
Greetings. And we're also here with Brian Manjoma. How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing good. Fun fact that I told these guys before the show, I actually haven't slept since recording Throwdown episode 78.
Mm, crazy bastard, man.
Yeah, we go hard over here, man.
Oh
Especially
yeah.
Yeah.
big
So I
UK
guess
guys.
Brian's just saying, like, if he knocks out during the middle of this, now you know why.
Yeah, if you start hearing snoring and stuff, just know where it's coming from.
I actually don't snow. Like I've actually asked like a lot of people, and I don't snow. But I do just sleep like incredibly still, to the point that people think I'm dead when I sleep. But
So
Yeah.
then, but then at the same time, it's like I'm sleeping, like so I should be moving anyway, right? I don't know.
Yeah. With me, not to sidetrack too much, I know for a fact I don't snore because every time I have snored, I wake myself up, like, terrified. Like, what the fuck was that noise? Because I'm a very light sleeper, you know?
do you talk in your sleep?
Nah, man. Like, the few times I have, again, I wake myself up, you know, because I'm like, what the hell was that?
So you're a very light sleeper then.
Yeah, man. Like I don't know why I just am like very light sleeper. Like everything needs to be a perfect temperature, perfect. I have to be wrapped up. Like I can't sleep without covers. It's nuts, man.
All right, cool. So let me explain the format of the quarterly report. Sorry, I got tongue twisted there. So basically, each of us is going to give three games that we were kind of impressed by or that we liked from the last quarter, and we're going to talk about why we liked those games. And we're also going to give a game that we felt like was a disappointment from the past 3 months. And then, later on in the show, we're going to move on and say we're going to list a game that we're looking forward to next quarter. And then we're going to list a game that we feel may be disappointing next quarter. So, yeah, let's get straight into it. I'm going to start with, let's go Brian first, because I'm always interested to hear, his thoughts and stuff. He's a fellow PC gamer, so
Fellow
I'm quite
Brit too, you
interested.
know.
Yeah.
So just list through the three, or just one by one?
Yeah, just three games that you enjoyed the most from the past 3 months that released within that window.
Okay, cool. Um, this one may come to no surprise to anyone that knows me. Dragon's Dogma: Dark Arisen on PC. I know technically it's not a new release, but it's a release that I've been waiting for so long. And I even said before it is even announced that if it was going to be released, then I'll pre-order it, and I did. And oh, I love that game. To be fair, it's one of my favorite RPGs of all time. I was meant to be doing a review on it, but personal things just came up, and I couldn't get one sorted in time. But the general gist of the review just wouldn't be the best RPG or one of the best RPGs most people will never play, which is a shame. But yeah, it's a nice action RPG which mixes lots of Eastern and Western elements and a good solid combat system. And yeah, if you have a PC, you should definitely get it. It's like again, it's not that it's not like a beastly like requirement for like a PC rig, so most PCs should be okay. Next one is, and this is something that Tony will love.
Oh.
Senran Kagura Estival versus. Well, it was a game I played during the quarter, and it did get released. Like apparently, it got released like March 15th or March 18th, if I remember correctly.
And you got the platinum.
Yeah, I got the platinum for it. And it was one of those games that took me completely by surprise. It was literally just luck of the draw because Torrance had the code, but it was for like a European like PlayStation account, and he didn't have one. And since I was there, I was like, "Hey, Torrance, just give me the code," and he did. And then within like half an hour, I was hooked for more than one reason, Tony.
Yes. Not just the
Yeah,
titties.
not just the titties, But yeah, and it's again, it just kept me going. Like it was just a nice like break from like the usual like serious military shooters that I play, and it's just like okay, you know what, just beat people up and titties. It's like okay, cool, that's fine. Like I have no problem with that. It's all good.
Let me just say that I've been having problems with stress, so I'd like to try out that game because it looks like a really good stress reliever. So I might have to buy that.
Yeah, it's like I would recommend it strangely because it's not the well okay it depends what type of games you usually play, but to me it's not one that I usually play, and it's not one I usually like go out and buy. So I'm happy that like I got a chance to play it. So big shout out to Tones for that, since it's all down to him. And
Shout out to Sator.
lastly, this one counts on principle alone. The Division. This is one of the games that I've been eagerly awaiting since the first trailer way back when the consoles first got announced, and the guys like slid his hand across and closed the door. And that's pretty much what I did for most of the beta. Just went to the cars and then just closed the doors, and then that's it. And I think that there's actually like a trophy for that, for like just closing
Yeah,
the
there
door.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's nice to know that the developers have like some sort of like sense of humor with themselves like that. So yeah, again, it's not the best game in the world ever, which is fine. You know, like not every game has to be the best ever. Like I say that it's perfectly fine to have games that are just average. You know, I, it's like as long as you like it and it keeps you entertained, then I don't see anything wrong with that. To be fair, and that's
Yeah,
pretty much my three.
that's those are good choices right there. So let's go to Tony Polanco. Always interested in what he has to say also.
All
So
right.
go ahead, Tony.
Yeah. This quarter was kind of, to be honest.
Uh,
But there was one game that personally to me stood out. Apparently, it stood out so much that I was accused of being paid for fucking reviewing it, giving it such a high score. But I'll get to that later. I'm gonna do this from three to one. So my number three pick is the Banner Saga. The game had already come out on PC and iOS or whatever a while ago, but it came out on PS4 this January. And this is one of those cases where I got a review code. I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it. I didn't even know what the game was about. Like I just picked it up, and I was like, wow, this is cool. It was like a mix of Oregon Trail with like an RPG. I thought that was pretty cool. It's like actually it's Oregon Trail and Final Fantasy Tactics, right? But with Vikings. So that was pretty cool. I played it a couple of times and stuff just to see how my choices like affected everything. It was a really good surprise. You don't really get that from the gaming industry now, at least for me. So I was pretty fun game. Um, After that, what Brian picked, the Division, is not great or anything. It's not like it's like oh my god. I mean I just bought it because Brett guilted me into it, as Brian knows. you know. But it's fun. I like the shooting mechanics. Playing with your buddies is fun. The Dark Zone is pretty interesting too. The way that's all set up. But yeah, like I said, it's the middle kind of the road kind of game. Like it's better. It gets better once you put some hours into it. It wasn't like a disappointment like I originally thought, but it's good for what it is. But again, this is the first quarter of the year. You can't really expect too much. However, now we get to my number one, Far Cry Primal. Man, this game I have been pretty hyped up for since it was announced, and it was even better than I thought. I think I'm kind of lucky in the fact that I don't really play Far Cry games. I've only played Blood Dragon before this. I don't play the main game, so I'm not really burnt out on the series like some others have. Because apparently this one is basically a real Far Cry game, just set in Stone Age and stuff. So again, I wasn't burnt out on it, but I thought it was cool. It was nice to not have go around shooting guns stuff. You like killing dudes with spears and stuff. You get to ride fucking saber-tooth tigers. You can't top that. It's like, what game lets you ride a saber-tooth tiger? I could be Stone Age He-Man, with my spear and shit, riding around with my fucking tigers and bears and all this other stuff. Great game, man. I love the design of it too. Like that was the game that made me go, what consoles are still kicking ass on the visual front, man. It's not all about PC. This shit looks fucking legit. So yeah, that's my number one game for January. I mean, the first quarter.
Well, that's a very controversial statement you made right there. But I'll address that later. It's fine. It's cool. But yeah, that's a good list right there. So we're gonna go over to Mr. Charles Singletary. So what
Word.
three games were you impressed by?
Um, I don't think any of them will be surprises for anybody that have talked to me about games. But I do want to point out that what I had to go and get package was RAM to upgrade my computer.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm going up to 24 gigs of RAM.
Damn.
Damn, my man.
Whoa,
What are
what?
you mixing an album or something? Or like,
Well, I mean, I do a lot of video editing now, so that program actually takes a lot of power to run it. But for the gaming, it'll help a little bit, but more so to help me out with streaming and stuff and keeping things situated. Plus, I'm going to go to a dual monitor setup soon, so I'm just getting prepared for all of those things as I can, step by step. But all right, so my games are not in any particular order. But my three that impressed me were Firewatch, which I did the review for that on the Coalition. That was a game that I really was very impressed by. It was a very mature story. It was really awesome storytelling in a interactive format. I really enjoyed it. That followed that up with XCOM 2, which is just going to be a crazy time sink for me in the strategy RTS world for like the rest of the year. Well, not RTS, but just that was turn-based. But I love strategy games, from XCOM to Total War to Company of Heroes. All of those games, I love them so much. And XCOM 2 just upped the ante so much, which I believe Jake did the review for that on thecoalition.com as well, if you want to check that out. I believe he felt the same way about it. So last but not least is Oxenfree, which is another adventure game with a very strong story. I'm about an hour or so away from ending that. I hadn't had enough time to finish it, but what I've done so far, a few people in different conversations have pointed out between Firewatch and Oxenfree, we've had two of the games with some of the strongest voice acting that we've had, or strongest writing that we've had also as far as dialogue goes. Because they're, with Firewatch is just two people going back and forth, but it's so fluid and it just, seems like such a real growing friendship between those characters that the entire story kind of survives off of. And Oxenfree is a coming of age teen thriller type story that we've seen in films and stuff, but we haven't gotten as often with games, and it's really really awesome, and the way they play off of each other is really well done. So those are the three that I love. I don't need to name the one I'm disappointed in, do I?
No, we're not there yet.
Okay, cool. Yeah, those are my three.
all right, cool, good list. I like the variety there. So my three games, in no particular order, I'm gonna say Black Desert Online as my first one. I'm really into MMOs. I kind of wish I had more time to, just grind an MMO, but I don't really have that time right now. But what I did play of Black Desert Online, I really enjoyed it. It's very appealing, cosmetic-wise. The customization is very detailed, and I like the storytelling elements to it and the action and everything. Definitely want to play more at some point, but yeah, from what I did play, I was really impressed with it. My second one is going to be Tomb Raider because that released on the PC in January, and I feel like that game deserves, a lot more attention because it kind of got swept under the rug when it came out on the Xbox, thanks to Fallout 4. But yeah, I feel like it's a big step up from the previous Tomb Raider game, and it's really fun to play. I mean, it's slightly on the easy side. Even the tombs and stuff, they're quite easy, but it's a really fun game. So I definitely recommend it to anyone who's able to play it at the moment. So definitely pick that up. And my third game is, of course, The Division, which is basically it's like my favorite game right now. It's my go-to game at the moment. I can get on, do a couple missions. It's a perfect game to play as well if you work a lot because you can just hop on, do a couple, side missions or encounters, or even, a main mission, which will probably take you about an hour or so. So there's always something to do, and you can repeat missions to get better loot. You know, the grind to level 30 has been pretty fun for me. I'm not level 30 yet, but I'm almost there now. I'm 25, I think, around that level. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that game, and it's getting, you know, more content as well. So I'm looking forward to that stuff. I'm looking forward to the incursions and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, if you're a fan of the Destiny's model of game, then I'm sure you'll like the Division. I can understand why some people may not like it. It's not for everyone, but you know, I really enjoy these types of grindy games. So I love that game. So yeah, that's my three, and we've all given our three games that we enjoyed. So let's move on to the negative, which is the games that kind of disappointed us from the last 3 months. Now I'm going to go to Tony first. So Tony, what game disappointed you?
Man, I'm gonna give the obvious answer. Fucking Street Fighter Five, man. I'm the guy. I love Street Fighter. Like I've been into Street Fighter since 1991, the first one. I bought extra controllers for this game. You know, I was ready, right? And then come to find out, you know, the game didn't have any fucking features. Like the core game itself is fantastic, right? It's great, but all you could really do is go online. Like, you know, like they didn't have any challenges. They didn't have arcade mode, which is crazy, you know. And everything was promised to March, and then we got the March update. We got Alex that and like trials and stuff. It's like you got to give us more than that, man. So I was very very disappointed by that. It's like I want to play Street Fighter, but I have no real reason to play it. You know, like whenever I've had friends come over to play, that was fun, you know, but you can't really do that. We're all adults now. You know, it's not like when I was a kid, my friends used to come over all the time to play Street Fighter, you know, but it's disappointing, you know, because, and I wrote an editorial about this too, how they're catering more to the FGC crowd. They're not really thinking about everybody. And I'm not just talking about casual. I'm talking about guys like me, you know, who really love Street Fighter, but I don't care about the FGC. I don't really care about, you know, playing like, you know, 50 million matches online. I'll play online in this game, obviously, and I'm pretty nice with it, but I want some other shit too, you know. So that was definitely a disappointment as a Street Fighter fan.
Okay. Um, yeah. Let me just give mine as well. Mine is Street Fighter as well. Sorry to piggyback off of what Tony was saying, you know, definitely a game that was designed more for, you know, the FGC community and stuff, and the, you know, the people who take these fighting games seriously. But you know, at its core, it's a really good game. I really enjoy the gameplay. I feel like the gameplay is so much better than Street Fighter 4. You know,
Yeah.
so I actually enjoy that. But what's really a letdown is the lack of content, because right now the only reason for me to play that game is when a friend or, you know, somebody challenges me to a match, and then, you know, I'll hop on and play a few games with them. But there's not enough in the game there to keep me on the game, and my skill in the game suffers because of that, because I forget the moves, I forget, you know, the combos and everything that, you know, I learned before, because I haven't played it in a while, you know, whenever somebody challenges me. So because I'm not on the game consistently, you know, it's like every time I go to fight one of my friends, I'm kind of whack, because, you know, I don't even remember the moves anyway. So that's a big letdown right there. I just wish they launched it with more content, because Street Fighter 4 had so much content in it. And even the lobbies, I wish there was like a King of the Hill style lobby where you
Yeah.
can have a bunch of your friends in there together, because then that would be more fun too. Like you could be on there all day just fighting dudes back to back to back. That would be fun. But no, it's just mad simple. It's mad basic right now. There's not much to it. And it's a shame, because, you know, it could have been a really, really good experience. I hope they bring all that new content to the game soon. But yeah, that's my disappointment. How about you, Charles?
The Witness, and
Uh,
I'm still struggling to write the review for that game.
By the
For
way,
the site.
can I just quickly say Witness is my honorable mention for disappointment. But Charles, I really want to hear what you have to, because you initially liked the game, didn't you?
Nope. I
Really?
thought it was pretty. It's a really beautiful game, but unless like if you're not a diehard puzzle fan, there's not a lot of variety in this. And like the story is told through the like, okay, let me put it this way. it is a personally disappointing game because it's well done. There are a lot of puzzles. There's a lot of variety to the puzzles. There are the story itself is told through like the puzzles and the areas that you do the puzzles in, and I thought it was a really cool design how once you get to a certain point, the environment itself is a bit of a puzzle, and I don't want to go too deep into that, but it's really cool that they have those types of things. But you really, it's a long game to be just puzzles, man. Like only fucking puzzles and walking around and doing those puzzles. And I'm like, golly, like I could have dealt with like a few like I don't know deep cutscenes thrown up in there or something, just something to switch things up a little bit. But like I said, if you are a puzzle fan, then The Witness is for you. You may hate the ending.
Uh-oh.
I don't care if you're a puzzle fan or not. The ending is a little shit. And the secret ending doesn't really alleviate it that much. So it was just, I wanted a lot more. I didn't even need a whole lot more gameplay wise. I wanted something that made you think a bit more. Because, I mean, look at where this game was coming from, what it was following up. It was following up Braid,
yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Braid is a really incredible game with really awesome story and really fun gameplay. If I wasn't completely entertained by the gameplay, I still at least expected to be completely drawn in by the story, but I wasn't. So that's more of an expectation thing, which is why I said that this is a personal letdown for me. If you enjoyed it, all power to you. But it didn't do it for me, man.
Man, I agree with every single thing you just said, bro. Seriously. And you played Talos Principle, because that was essentially just all puzzles too, but it compelled you more to actually keep playing it.
Well, the thing is with Talos Principle, which I haven't played a lot of it yet, Talos Principle has a lot of different types of puzzles. That's the thing. This is the same type of puzzle. It may look different, like in the places that you're doing it, but it is the same concept. You have a line that has to get from one place to another, and there are going to be different ways for that to be done. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to bar out these particular colors. They have to be split a certain way. You can't go around this particular thing. Those are variances in that. And also, props to them on design for making it where you learn those things without having to have them explicitly told to you. They do a really good job of allowing you to learn how these puzzles are going to work through the gameplay itself. Nothing tells you, hey, this is what does this. You go through this particular puzzle, it gets more complex as you go forward, and it may be involved in the next series of puzzles, and that's just how it works. But Talos Principle, you have puzzles, your environment is a puzzle and all of these different things, but you're using different things to complete those puzzles. It's not just this line on this board going this way or drawing a line in the environment. You know what I'm saying? Like there's actual variety to it.
Exactly.
But I don't know if Talos had the payoff on the story side because, like I said, I didn't play that much of it.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right about that. It's like you got to give more variety. Puzzles is fine. You got to have more variety. It can't just be the same shit, basically. But that's it. If you like it, that's cool.
All right, cool. So, Brian, how about you? Which game disappointed you?
Only one, Brian. I know you, man.
Okay, there's one that sticks out, and it's completely for personal reasons. There's no reason why this game should be on this list for me, apart from it's purely personal, and I'll explain why. It's Firewatch. Now, I've nothing against the game. I haven't played it, but again, this is all purely my fault and my mistake, so I'm taking full ownership of this. When I initially seen the trailer about like a year and a half ago, I first thought that this game was going to be like a thriller game. So like not like like a thriller game. You know, like there was like some mystery to solve. Like at some point there'll be like some supernatural element to it or something like that. And it didn't quite turn out like that. And for that reason, I am disappointed. But but then that onus is on me because I should have like kept up to date with what the game was. I should have like researched more into what the game was. So it's literally lack of research on my part that I'm disappointed at this game. Yeah, it's very sad, very very petty, I know, but
You expected it to be something else.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
as people know, I was not a big fan of that, but I can't say I'm disappointed because I kind of knew what I was getting myself into as well.
so, because it looks really nice. Like I really liked the
It
art
is
style.
beautiful.
I really liked what they were like going for with like the themes and all sorts. But then I was expecting like a thorough element to it and maybe something supernatural, but it wasn't. So again, it lost my interest, which is
Yeah, it
unfortunate.
seems like people either love that or hate that game. The art style does look really appealing, though.
Oh yeah, it looks
Yeah.
really
It's
good.
beautiful.
All right, cool. So that's our disappointments for the past quarter. So, moving on to looking ahead to next quarter, which is going to be April, May, and June. Um, we're going to talk about the game that we're most looking forward to, most excited for. So, let's go with Charles first. What game are you looking forward to?
All right. It's kind of tough for me to narrow it down on which games I'm looking forward to. I got to take Star Ocean off because that's only coming out in Japan. We don't know when that's going to come out in the U.S., so I can't put that there. But
No,
I'll put my
it
number.
already
They
came
said
out in
June.
Japan.
Yeah, I think they're saying June 28th is coming out in America.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
in
really?
America.
Yeah, that's what this fancy list says too. Because I had to double check. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Yeah.
Okay, then well, that's an honorable mention for me then. I'm gonna put my. Damn it, it's really hard to choose because like I am really looking forward to how Uncharted ends.
Ends.
Well, yes,
Hmm.
because it's the last one.
Yeah.
Is it the
And
last one of Uncharted or is it the last of Drake's story?
Last of Drake's story.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm really excited for that. No doubt, I've been excited for a long time, but it's just it's a thing. It's a constant. It's the fourth one. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna get that. There's no doubt that I'm going to get the game. So I'm not like super excited. I think I'll put it as a tie between these two games, the Banner Saga 2 and No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky would have taken this hands down if the fucker would have came out like 4 months ago. But I've had time to play Elite Dangerous. I've had time to research Star Citizen. And there are a ton of other games that are, going into the space exploration genre. And I'm just like, man, what is No Man's Sky going to bring to the table? Or is it going to bring a deep enough experience in the space exploration genre? Because if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be full price, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what they said. Yeah.
Looking at like I'm not one of the people that completely shit a brick at it being full price because it's indie and wah, they're fucking idiots. My comparison is to games like Elite Dangerous, where I'm like, I have a ridiculous amount of things that I can do in this world. Traveling to all of these planets, now they have planet-side landings, which is something that I think No Man's Sky may be able to do better than these other games. But we have planet-side landings, I have resources, I can start mining, I can start a trading company, all of these different things that I can do. No Man's Sky is built on the exploration side of things and kind of upgrading your ship and your characters so you can explore even more. While exploration is what I love about Elite Dangerous, I love the option of being able to do other things at some point. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I can switch things up. I hope that I don't get bored with No Man's Sky after I jump to about 30 different planets and check things out. That is my concern. I have faith that they'll do it, but it's still a concern just because of what we've seen so far. And I am curious to see what's at the center of the universe because that's the goal. So you want to see what's there and then go through whatever that mystery is and then play through the rest of the game. But I guarantee you, if you're going to play No Man's Sky, you're going to see my name on a lot of these planets being discovered. Yeah. So just at least be ready for that much. But my other honorable mention is is Uncharted. Valkyria Chronicles Remastered is a big honorable mention because I played the hell out of that game. But I'm excited that other people are going to be able to play this game now. I have it on PC. I'm not going to buy the remastered version. But, oh my goodness, Valkyria Chronicles is one of the best strategy games, strategy RPGs ever, in my opinion. And it disappoints me that we haven't gotten more games in this genre. But as long as they keep doing what they're doing and we get the next Valkyria Chronicles, I'm happy. It's fucking incredible. But that's it.
Cool. Good selection. So, Tony, how about you?
All right. I'm gonna skip the obvious answer. I'm gonna go to another one because everybody's gonna pick Uncharted. I'm gonna go with Doom. I was I was a big Doom fan back in the day, right? I played that shit on my 32X. Love that shit, And now that I got this little bit of a gaming PC going on, I've been playing Doom again. Like, this game is fucking dope. So I'm looking at, and here's the funny thing: even though I was at E3 last year, I didn't see this trailer, that they showed last year until like a couple months ago. I'm like, oh shit, this is like the Doom I remember, but just like with modern technology and stuff. It's really gory and crazy and shit. Today they released like a multiplayer thing. You guys know I'm not really a multiplayer guy, but I was actually kind of excited for the multiplayer of this game. But then I saw it today, I'm like, oh, it's like kind of like Quake. Like, why can't it be more like Doom? But I'm not gonna worry too much about that. The actual core game looks fun as shit. So that's gonna be my biggest highlight. That's not Uncharted. For the next quarter. And I guess technically, Quantum Break is next quarter. So that's a little bit of a nod too. But we'll have to see about that. But I'm gonna go with Doom for this one.
Any more honorable mentions?
I don't know, man. Like next quarter is kind of dry. I actually no. The Star Ocean. I'm looking forward to that. That looks cool.
Are you not looking forward to Banner Saga after you got that surprise specialness?
Hey, you're right about that. Shit. Okay, Banner Saga. Charles and Brian were like, oh, it's stacked. I guess it is stacked. Banner Saga too as well.
Yeah, looking at the list of things, there's a lot of games coming out.
Yeah.
Small, big. There's I'm excited to talk about my disappointment.
Okay. What about Mirror's Edge? I just realized that's on here too.
I'm excited for it, but it's kind of in the Uncharted world for me because it's like I know I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
I'm not. There's nothing about it that I'm like, oh, what is this? I'm just like, just make sure you give me what I got in the original Mirror's Edge with a little bit of polish. That's all. I don't need a bunch of extra shit. I know that they're taking the gun play away, which I appreciate because I didn't give a shit about using a gun in that game at all. So I'm not super excited, but I'm not like. I'll wait. I'm gonna get it when it comes out.
Yeah. All right. So that Doom for me. I'm gonna go with Banner Saga for the next one. All right. That's it for me.
How about you, Brian?
Yeah. As I was saying to these guys before we started, nothing in the next quarter really stands out to me. Like I've been looking through them and they're all just okay games to me, right? Nothing that's okay, I need to keep my eye on this game, or I need set aside time to play this game. But the one that I guess jumps out the most, purely because I just want to see what how deep it goes, is No Man's Sky.
Figured that was gonna be it.
It's one of those games that I seen and then I'm like, okay, wow, and then it amazed me. And then it sort of dropped off the radar when it just kept on just releasing trailer after trailer with the same stuff. But now it's gone back to, okay, it seems quite dull, but I'm pretty sure that there must be something else. So purely out of curiosity, I want to see just how deep it goes. So that's the one game I'm looking forward to. You all know my thoughts on the Uncharted games, so that's why I can't pick them, to be fair. The only other thing that I guess stands out is Skullgirls 2 Encore for the Vita, but that's already out on so many different platforms now. So, but I thought I'd just mention that because Skullgirls is actually a really good game, a nice fighting system. To be fair, I actually enjoyed it. It was weird. I generally don't play many 2D fighting games. I'm most a Tekken guy myself, so It was nice. And apparently, Ark Survival Evolved is coming out towards the end of the quarter. So yeah, that's a thing.
It
Well, it's a thing.
is a thing. Most definitely, it's a thing.
Cool. All right, so I'll go ahead. I was gonna say Star Ocean, but that only released that well, it's already released in Japan and in what is it, June? It's gonna release in America, so it's not hitting Europe until quarter 3, basically.
Oh.
So I can't technically say that yet. Um, so I guess I'm just gonna go with, the game that's been hyped up, the game that everybody's waiting for, and the game that's gonna get all the accolades, and that's Sherlock Holmes: The Devil's Daughter. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Fucking
All right,
troll.
Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. Yeah, I'm an Uncharted fan. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I like this series. The first game, it gets a bad rap. I guess because it's a bit dated now. People don't like it as much, especially with what they've seen in the following games. But I really like Uncharted 1. I still think it's a really solid game. I still go back and play it. Uncharted 2, it just set the standard. Like it raised the bar to a completely new level, and that's definitely one of my favorite games of the last generation, hands down. So yeah, I love that game. Uncharted 3, from a technical standpoint, it was amazing, but the story wasn't as great as the second one, in my opinion. So, with all the footage they've been showing of Uncharted 4, I'm really interested to see what they're going to do, what new concepts they're going to introduce this time around. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing, what comes of it. I am slightly worried with all the delays and, the staff changes and all that sort of stuff. But, Naughty Dog, they always represent quality, so I'm sure it'll be a fun experience regardless. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But I am looking forward to Sherlock Holmes as well. I'm not lying. So yeah. Um,
Yo,
yo,
yes, Sherlock Holmes. I actually just added Crime and Punishment Sherlock Holmes to my Steam wish list, man, because I knew about those games, but I never looked at what they could do.
yeah.
Dude, I love me some detective games, and that shit's right up my alley. It looks really, really awesome. So I'm looking forward to that next one.
Oh yeah, definitely play Crime and Punishment. That's a dope game. So yeah. So let's go ahead and get to the games that we think will be disappointing, next quarter. So I'm gonna go first this time, and I may upset some people, but
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna go with No Man's Sky, and
Oh,
it's mainly because like the way they describe it, it's like it's multiplayer, but like the chances of you actually coming across somebody or a planet or a thing that someone's named is it's really unlikely at the beginning stages of the game. I guess as you get to the center of the universe, that's when you're going to start to come across people more. But I don't know what the time frame of that is, or how soon, or how much of your time it's going to take to get there. So just that, like I feel like it might get boring. So that's my thing. And I know Charles is really into the space exploration stuff, but for me, it's not, one of my, it's not one of the genres that I'm most fond of. But if I was gonna get into that, I would start with Elite Dangerous anyway. So I'm just not too sure about No Man's Sky, and I see a lot of people hyping the game up, and I'm like, why? Like we don't even really understand what it is yet. And to be fair, that's actually a good thing because I do like that developers can kind of keep things a secret a little bit and have like that aura of mystery around the game. I think that's a cool thing because Rockstar kind of does that as well with Grand Theft Auto games, and other studios do that. They keep that aura of mystery around their game, and it makes it a bit more exciting when you finally get it. But with No Man's Sky, it's like it's really hyped up, and we really don't know what to expect. And this game could come out and just be like completely boring. Like so, I just feel like it's gonna a lot of people are gonna be disappointed with the game. That's just how I feel about it. So that's my choice for the game that might be disappointing. How about you, Brian?
I was tempted to go for like the low-hanging fruits of Uncharted 4, but it might just upset some people a bit too much, since people don't like it when people criticize the Uncharted games. I don't know why, they're
Uh,
just games.
well, you don't have to hold back on this show, man.
No, it's a bit of like a low-hanging fruit. Plus I don't know that much, so I can't really speak in depth of it. But I guess if I'd have to stretch out to one, purely because like the first one just, I, it didn't do great numbers, but it did decent numbers, and as far as I remember, it got like a decently good reception. But Homefront: The Revolution, purely because this title has been through like a lot of different things, like different publishers, different development studios, and switched around here and there, and it seems like it's had a rough ride, and I'm always concerned whenever games get like a rough ride during their development process, it may lead to just a game that's not as good as it should have been. So I am quite concerned, and I do think that may not be as good as people thought it would be or even should be. Uh, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Because again, like nothing really stands out to me next like quarter.
Okay. Uh, that is a decent one. I forgot that game was coming out, to be honest with you. But yeah, with everything that series has gone through, I wouldn't be surprised if that was a disappointment. But hopefully it'll turn out good. But we'll see. How about you, Charles?
All right, man. My most disappointing, or the one I fear will be disappointing, is Battleborn, and I will tell you why. While it is Gearbox, and I trust a lot of what Gearbox has done, the fact that they switched this from free to play to a premium price game concerns me. Not once has that happened where a free to play formatted game gone to premium and had been great. Like Rainbow Six Siege, while they never said it was free to play, it is obvious that they built that on a very free to play like format and platform. Um, and it really annoyed me. Star Wars Battlefront, the same situation. Premium price, but not premium content. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that they have a single player campaign kind of alleviates that concern a little bit, but I'm still worried that this game is going to fall flat because of the $60 price point. Um, Games like this need to have a lower tier entry point. Um, and I think they said $60. It may be 40. I don't know, but I still feel like it should have been like a free to play thing and have microtransactions in this particular instance. Um, just like Overwatch, Overwatch is going to be free to play. Paragon is going to be free to play. Those types of games, if you want the longevity, you crave that longevity and you have to work for it. And I think you have to give people a chance to try it out and enjoy it, and that happens more in the free to play market, honestly. So
I
that's
thought
my.
Overwatch was like a full-on release.
Mm-mm.
Like, well, are you sure? Because I like remember that they were going to have like two like different like packs, have like a $40 one and a $60 one. Or was
I'll
that like
check. That may have
game?
changed too, and if that changed, then Overwatch and Battleborn can be on this list now. But check to the next person while I look that up.
Uh, Yeah.
Okay, actually, I found it. Yeah. So apparently, the base game will be $40, or you can pay $60 for an upgraded version, which has skins for their characters. All right, so yeah, Overwatch, and Battleborn. Those are my two choices because just all right. Listing the things, the Overwatch will include 21 extraordinary heroes and sell for $40. Just as another example, Paragons, you can buy a Founders Pack, but the thing that you're buying with that is unlocking some of the masteries, and you can play in the early access. When Paragon drops, when it comes out, as a matter of fact, right now, you can download Paragon for free. When the game is available for everyone to play, open beta in July, and then after that, the full game comes out, you don't have to have paid a penny to play that damn game. And it's not going to be a situation where you can play a certain amount of games. You have to wait for a timer like mobile shit. But this is it's going to be a full-on free game. And the fact that Overwatch, there's another game called it's by the people that made Smite. Smite is another free-to-play game. I think it's a shooter kind of like Overwatch is, a first-person shooter, and it's going to be free-to-play as well. Paladins is what it's called. And I'm like, why do they keep doing these types of things, taking this free-to-play stuff and shitting on it? It's not going to last a very, very long time unless they just completely keep stuffing new and new content in over and over and over and like frequently, every week, every 2 weeks. Because there are free-to-play games that are doing this. And I'm like, why would I pay for yours? Why would I pay $40 or $60 for yours when these free-to-play games are putting out more content at a faster rate than what you're doing and at a better quality? And they have microtransactions. If you want to pay for some things, you can. But yeah, I didn't know that one is switched over to not being free-to-play either. So that sucks.
All right, cool. That's a good choice. So how about you, Tony?
Okay, the one I'm fearing is going to be a disappointment is No Man's Sky. Because again, like you said, there's not really much that we know about the game. Like I was very, very hyped for it when I first saw it because the whole like thing of like leaving the ocean, walking on land, going on a spaceship, and then flying to space. I'm like, oh shit, that's pretty cool. But then like the more you've seen of the game, kind of the less you know about it. Like we still don't really know what it's about. So I'm hoping that it's not going to be a disappointment. But I'm going to go with an easy one here. Mainly because I played some of it at a couple of events already. Umbrella Corp. I think that's going to be a pretty big disappointment there because it kind of strays away from what Resident Evil is. And I know they're not comparing it to the Umbrella Chronicles or whatever it was called, but I think it might be one of those situations where people were really hyped up to play this fucking MP Resident Evil game, but it didn't really turn out how they wanted. But again, I'm just saying that that's what I think it's going to be. I don't think any game. The only game I'm really afraid of here is No Man's Sky being disappointed. But again, there's more good than bad for this quarter anyway. So I'm not going to worry if something turns out to be disappointed.
All right, cool. Yeah, so that's our summary of the past 3 months. It was, I guess it's a bit on the slow side, but by the time we do another show, like a lot would have happened because, we're going to have E3 in June. We got, PAX and other things going on. And a lot of the Telltale still needs to announce when that Batman game is coming out. I was going to say that as my choice of game that I was looking forward to, but they didn't give an official date yet. But I'm looking forward to that also. So a lot's going to happen within the next 3 months. So, we should be a lot more upbeat on the next episode. But do you guys have anything to say about the past 3 months or any way to summarize it? Summarize your thoughts?
I mean, it's the beginning of the year. You can't really expect too much. The real heat comes at the second quarter and then the final quarter. That's always when we get the really crazy stuff,
I feel like it's been a solid 3 months, and we got a pretty good stable of games. I think we got some games that are going to be in conversations for Game of the Year when the year wraps up and everything. So I'm looking forward to the next 3 months, and I think the last 3 months were solid.
Wait, you think we got some Game of the Year games already?
Yeah.
Which ones?
Well, off my list, I feel like, and hate me if you want, but Firewatch is going to be in that conversation. I'd rather Oxenfree be in that conversation, but I don't know if it had a big enough buzz when it came out. It seemed like a lot of people were talking about it, but I don't know if it garnered enough attention for it to get into that conversation. And for people that actually talk about PC games, XCOM 2 is going to be in the conversation for one of the games of the year for sure.
Okay, that's fair enough. Fair
Mm.
play. How about you, Brian?
Um, a decent 3 months. Ubisoft just killed it. Which is like very strange because like now like Ubisoft hold like the top four best-selling new IPs of this generation. No, top four? Or, like they have like three of or like four of the top five like best-selling new IPs, and it's like wow, Ubisoft are like people want new games. It seems like Ubisoft are the ones that are giving the people new games, judging by that. It's like what was it? It's Watch Dogs, The Division. I think Assassin's Creed is in there, and some other thing.
Far Cry, that
Yeah, Far
that's a game.
Cry.
That's a game I'm going to be bringing up when we're talking about game of the year too.
Oh no, it's like new IPs.
Yeah, well,
Um,
yeah, that's true. Well, you did say Assassin's Creed, so that's not a new IP. I'm like, okay, so he's talking
well,
about everything.
technically it is like last gen like new IP. I mean like new IP like for the last like couple of years. It was like some like started done somewhere, and like it, and then the Division like knocked Destiny off that list as well. So it's like wow, Ubisoft are like they know how to make new IPs by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we had like a nice variation of games. I didn't notice many racing games, apart from the PC release of Need for Speed. So I'll need to check that out. But all in all, like nothing to shout about, but nothing bad either. You know, it's enough stuff to keep you over the summer drought when it comes round.
Yeah.
Actually, I was just thinking about the end of the year would be interesting because we're probably going to be talking about some VR games.
Oh
That's actually
yeah.
something that took me completely by surprise. I mean, like the Rift launched like this week, like what, like 3 days ago, 4 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like the Vive is launching next week, so it's like, what? Like VR is here now. Like I thought it was here like next week or the week after or like in the future.
Oh, it's
So
here, man. It's here.
Yeah.
took me completely by surprise.
And
Uh,
see, that's the thing. Like, I feel like the year has started off kind of slow, but I feel like 2016 is going to be a huge year because we got upgrades of PlayStation 4 coming, the PS4K, whatever it is, and then we got, possibly upgrades of the Xbox One, and we got VR, and
got
all this stuff. It's not
Yeah.
NX.
Final Fantasy. We got a new Final Fantasy coming
Shit.
out this
Yeah,
year.
that's right. Final Fan. I almost forgot about that.
I don't know,
Yeah.
Gary hasn't.
No, Gary never has, man.
I can't wait till next like quarterly report. So, Gary, what's your most anticipated game for the next quarter?
Yeah.
Hey man, I've already bought my stocks in Square Enix. So,
Yeah.
Did you do that by like buying like the entire like library of like the Final Fantasy games like on every single platform?
yeah, pretty much.
Ah, but yeah, like it's gonna be very interesting. Adrift came out. Wow, when did that come out?
Yeah, it did actually. Is it only on Steam right now? Yeah, that came out, dude. That came out when the Oculus came out, isn't it?
Yes, I completely forgot about
Yeah,
that
I'm gonna
game.
get Adrift too.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. The next couple of months will be very exciting. Especially if like these developers like do like kind of like Fallout 4 situation where it's like they keep a game like under wraps for so long, and then they announce it, and then they come out and say, okay, it's being released in 3 months or in 4 months. Like that type of stuff. That's the type of stuff that I really enjoy because it's stuff that you don't expect, and then it hits you, and then it's like, wow, so soon? It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys listening to this right now, go ahead, leave your comments. Let us know which games you enjoyed from the previous quarter and which games you thought were disappointments and which games you're looking forward to next quarter and which ones you feel like maybe disappointing. So go ahead, leave your comments. Let us know. You know, we're gonna read out some of your comments on the next co-op podcast and stuff.
Why didn't you pick any Xbox games?
Mention Quantum Break. What else do you want? Like, isn't that like the big Xbox for like this for like next quarter? Unless there's
Yeah,
other ones I
basically.
don't know about.
We didn't talk about Scalebound. That ain't,
You know what we didn't talk about? Dark Souls 3.
yeah, well,
Oh,
I
I'm
guess
surprised no one mentioned that. That's crazy.
well, I don't know. I don't think anybody in here is like a huge fan of that franchise. I know I'm not. Like, I'm gonna get it, but I'm not like super hyped for it. You know, I prefer another Bloodborne. You know.
Do you feel like Bloodborne has kind of made you more receptive to the idea of playing
yeah.
Dark Souls 3?
Yeah, for sure. Because I would not have even touched it if it wasn't for Bloodborne. You know.
Wow.
I mean, even getting me into Bloodborne took a while, you know. But when Chris was selling it to me for $40, I'm like, hey, fuck it, I'll take a shot, you know. But this one, because I played a little bit of Dark Souls 3, and even though it is like faster than normal Dark Souls 3, it's still very much defense based, you know. Like what I like about Bloodborne is you could dodge around and shit, you know. It's like I don't want to just be carrying around a shield that slows everything down. I don't like that. But we'll see.
Wow, it turns out that the Honest Game trailers was like completely correct. You know, like Bloodborne is the Dark Souls game that you trick people that don't like Dark Souls into
Yeah.
liking Dark Souls.
There you go. They got me.
I need to see that on this trailer. But yeah. All right, so we're out now. That's the show. Leave your comments. Thanks for listening, people. We're out. Peace.
All right, peace.
I need to get me some sleep.
Yeah, you need some sleep.